And thank you very much for inviting me here to talk about the Next Steps project. And what I'm really going to do is point you to the Next Steps outputs that we have on our website and share just a very few of our findings today. And say that we're very happy to follow up with anybody if they want to hear more about the project. So the Next Steps project was answering one question, and it's a partnership project. And our question was, in the context of COVID-19, what have we learned and what does it mean for the future of teaching and learning in Irish higher education? So we worked on this question together from March until November. We have 15 partners, and I had a little look through the participants. I see that lots of our partners are here this morning, so that's really nice. And our outputs we had three outputs really. We have a partner report, and that's the image there that you can see the cover of the report. We had 20 insights, so these are very short, concise documents that the partners produced. I know QQI produced 2 of those insights for us. And we produced a mini documentary that was included in the launch of the project. So I know when I was looking in the team space, when I was the observer, my screen was quite small, so I imagine this might be quite small. But just to give you a sense of the range of partners, you can see the logos of the partners there. And you can also get a sense of the range of the project in that our partners either had existing data that they contributed to the project, or they engaged in new research. And so this gave us an enormous breadth of work, and it gave us a very large scope, range of perspectives. And we believe that this is a unique project. We don't believe that this has happened anywhere else. We haven't heard of it happening anywhere else globally. So we're very fortunate that we could work together to come up with these outputs. I'm going to share some of the key messages, and these I had drawn from the report. If you have a chance to look at the report, you'll see elaboration on these messages and on the recommendations, and you'll also see items that I haven't included. But I deliberately pulled out the things that I thought would be most appropriate for this audience, and it's actually really reassuring to hear the similarity in the themes that have been considered this morning. So just, I know that Klaus mentioned particularly equity, diversity and inclusion. That came out so strongly in our work, and all of the partners saw this as an essential element going forward. We also saw a very strong emphasis on collaboration and partnership. And I'm just thinking of the things that Mary said around looking at collaborative approaches. Also where Mary mentioned evidence-based, that has come out really strongly in the work, that we don't want to base our work on anecdote. We want to draw from research. We want to do work like the Next Steps. We want to have the evidence to back up our hunches or what we feel is happening on the ground, so that we can better understand it and we can plan in more coherent ways. I suppose another element that came up was around I'm thinking about the core values that Lynn mentioned, and having leadership as the centrepiece. And this came out very strongly. Distributed leadership indeed came out very strongly in the Next Steps report. And because I suppose one of the emphases this morning is looking at the world of work, this came out as a very strong message, that it was digitally infused and that it requires a commitment to lifelong learning. So not just for students or potential prospective students, but also for staff, that we constantly need to be learning. That engagement that Klaus mentioned with CPD is really important for colleagues working within the sector as well. Some of the specific things that came up were around the changing environment, so the change in learning and teaching environments, how, where and how we learn is changing, and that has implications for capital spending and related matters. And then all of these things ripple out to pedagogy, what happens in the classroom, the variety in terms of the experiences that our students have, including work integrated learning, everything as Mary mentioned around digital. We know from that digital is very much the spine almost of what we're doing now, and that it's a thread in all our work. And the final point I would say is that we need, in our work together, which was hugely empowering and very rich because of its diversity, we really learned that we need to continue to investigate the space together. It was very interesting to see the different perspectives and the emphases that people have depending on their particular setting. So I'm going to share the links. I'll share the slides with you, Mairead, and please feel free to share them with colleagues this morning. And within the slides, then you'll find the links to the report and the insights and the documentary. And as I said previously, we're really happy to hear reactions to the work, or very happy to hear from people who were either involved or would like to know more about it. Thanks very much.
Thanks so much, Alison. It's fantastic to see the very rich key findings arising out of the Next Step project.